Well, hello and welcome back to the Blind Country Podcast. It's your host, Blind Cowboy. And right across from me, I am thrilled to announce I have our lead tool tech with Make 48, Arkansas native, Mr. Adam. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on. Tell me a little bit about how'd you get started in Make 48 and kind of the story. This is the season 10, episode 1, and we're right back where it all started from what I hear.
So, whenever I got started in Make 48, it was about 4 years ago. Tom contacted the makerspace where I worked at, and I was in charge of their wood and metal shop. And I talked to Tom a few times after he contacted us, asking us to come in and do an event at our space. So I contacted him, said, "Hey, I'd love to. We're going to do it." We had it all set up to go, and I decided I'd like to see one in action before it comes to our space, so that whenever they do come, I can make everything as smooth as possible, have everybody kind of prepped up and ready. So I came to the one in Indiana, and I've gone to almost every one of them since then. There's a few that I've missed here and there, but almost all of them I've been to since then.
Awesome. So you came to a few, seen it all. When Tom and Amy presented the Make 48 at the Kansas State School for the Blind, what was your first reaction?
I believe that was my third or fourth one. Was that one? We came up to that one, me and Joel. I don't know if you remember Joel or not. He came to a few of them, but he was working with another organization that was a sponsor at the time. Mm-hmm. So me and Joel, we've known each other for a long time, and he drove us up there, and I was all in. I didn't know how it was going to work. I didn't know all the details, but just like a lot of things, we'll figure it out whenever we get there. Yeah. So it came in, and I know we always like to say, it's only going to be tool techs working with the tools. It's we don't let anybody else do it. So that was like, okay, we'll be fine. Turns out it was pretty much the opposite at the School for the Blind one. We had kids out using the miter saws, using the drills, using the welder. We had people doing stuff all over because it was. It was a fun thing to do, and it was a good way to teach people how to do stuff. And I believe that was a design challenge, if I remember right, on chickens. And it was eggs in the kitchen, because if you have your chickens at your house, if you don't wash the bloom off the egg, you can have the eggs on the counter. And it was a design competition with that. There was some cool stuff that came out. If I remember that, what was her name, Mariah, that worked with Train. That was the team that won, was hers, and they had a little thing that would sit on your countertop. You could lift it out. It had a whole bunch of attachments with it.
Mm-hmm. And then mine was the Noble Nuggets, and we took second.
That's right.
And I came back as I was a student for that one, and then I came back as a tool tech. Were you getting any heads up? Were you nervous? Were you like
at that point, since I'd done the one before, I wasn't as nervous on it. Because you're always a little bit more comfortable your second time around. Mm-hmm. So I knew it was going to be a lot of fun. I knew Lydia, who was in charge of the makerspace there, and I knew if I had any issues or questions, I could talk with her. And we kept in touch, and we still do since then. And so being able to have that as kind of I was definitely not. I was very comfortable at that point. I wasn't worried at all because I knew you guys. I knew we were going to have some tool techs that were vision impaired like yourself, and we were able to get all that stuff taken care of. It was great. And that one was it the board game one? Do you remember?
I think so.
I think it was that was. I'm pretty sure that was the second one. That was Fishing in the Dark won that one.
Yeah.
I was like that. When they told me the premise of that one, that was the first event that I've been to whenever I was walking around and hearing the premises. I heard that one was like, there's absolutely no way that one loses. That one is just such, it was one of those that it hit the sweet spot, immediately knew it. So.
Yeah. Well, now that we're, 10 seasons in, more than a few nationals.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts now? You've kind of, we've been here for a day, and, looking back on how we've gone so far.
I mean, it's going pretty smooth. We're changing up the schedule a little bit on this one, which I think is mostly good. I've yet to see anything majorly where I'm like, ooh, this is weird. I don't know about that. Pretty much all of them have really good changes on the scheduling, but it's always, it's always a little hard to change your schedule, what you're used to. I kept referring to yesterday, which was Friday. I kept referring to Saturday because there were so many things that we do on Saturday that we had been doing on Friday, and it was just kind of throwing my brain off. But as a whole, the teams are in a great spot. We are in a great spot time-wise. I think we're doing awesome.
Yeah. And can you spill the beans on anything? Is there any future events? Is there anything?
We've got some more events coming up, and the next one is going to be in June in Atlanta at the Skills USA convention. I almost said Go Skills, but that's not it.
Yeah, I've heard something potentially a couple years, or maybe sooner down the road, like a live event,
That is the live event, is the Skills USA one.
Awesome.
Yep. So it's going to be a blast, and I'm ready. That's the next event, so we gotta make some stuff for that event also.
Yeah. Wow. Well, man, thank you for doing this with me. This is always fun, and what a wild time. I'm never 100% sure if I'm going to be able to make these things. And when they said, hey, it's in Wichita, right here in the heartland. So I'm always fired up to do it. I still love it. I still want to do it, man. And
that's what I like to hear.
Hopefully I haven't driven you guys too crazy.
Nah, you've been great. I mean, we got you sanding stuff for us and helping us out with all the trophy builds. You've been great. Always a help.
Heck yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for showing up to the Blind Country Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and y'all know what to do. Y'all stay country.